I'm live. Am I live? I might be live. Okay. So we have a bit of a... This was going to be a different video than an unboxing video. I was going to do an overview of kind of many of the Thursday boots, and these took so long to get here that a couple of the pairs still haven't gotten here, but a couple of the pairs were going to be just the captain boots, and I already did a captain boot video a long time ago anyway, so I don't know how much we need. There we go. I don't know how much we need to really do that now, but I don't own every single model of Thursday boots. Now, this was a video or a boot that I did a video kind of last year, or I mentioned them in when I was starting a series on logger boots specifically. And of course, here's an actual logger boot, like so we can do a comparison later. I've already done, I think, 2 videos about this or something. So kind of a semi-fake unboxing because I did sort of open the box already, but there's your logo upside down, and the sale was basically, so we have boot number 1, seconds and returns, and boot number 2, and from my previous history with Thursday boots, it often takes 2 or 3 tries to find the right size. So with a sale like this where they expect you to do no returns and no exchange, yeah, there's no, usually there's a card in here with the person who made them or packed them, their name, but there's no card in here. There's just tissue paper. So maybe the tissue paper will be. And then plastic bag. Bit of cardboard. Bit of tissue paper. So like I said, I already kind of knew what was in there. I opened the box a couple minutes ago, but usually I try to take a picture of the boot for the thumbnail instead of just a picture of the box. But to make things easier on myself, the next couple videos will just be pictures of a box, except it's not even that box, it's the other box for the next video, because I'm silly like that, and it's not a big mystery what the boots look like if you go to the website anyway. So just for I have to explain every time. I used to pre-record these videos, and for some reason when I did that, the camera didn't show everything backwards, so it was really easy for me to be pointing to the correct part of the object and things like that. And ever since then, now when I do it, everything is backwards, and it's really hard for me to get things correct in the screen. But so you can see the heel stack is not the same heel stack. You can see that the outsole is, you know, comparable, but not really. They've put a walking heel on the back and then a mini lug here instead of, but it is Vibram supposedly. If we can get it to focus, there we go. And which is a departure I don't know if that has always been the case or if they switched to the Thursday soles later, but most of their boots come with their own proprietary soles, or used to. It has a fake cap toe for mostly looks, aesthetics, the stitching. Now, some of their boots, especially some of the older captains, I think, had no welt, like more similar to these. And then the new captains I got have a plastic welt similar to a Thorogood boot. So I don't know when they changed that. So I don't know what they're doing. And then this is the kind of waxed flesh deal. I'm not sure if that is a time or a cost saving device or both, or if it's just kind of a fad. But this coating tends to wear off supposedly, and then you get a kind of a show through of the natural color of the leather underneath. And what I found with some brands of boots with the cap toe is it keeps them more rigid here. So where you want a little bit of stretch for your, I don't know, ball of your foot or whatever, like they're not gonna move as much as you might think or hope or like. Like I said, I already tried one of these on, and I already know that they're basically, my toes are all the way to the end. They're too small, so they lied about the sizing. And they said, I forget what they said, but these are my regular shoe size, and I would say go up half a size from your regular shoe size and hope for the best, because I don't think they offer any wide widths. And usually in a wide width, you get a little bit more in the toe as well, whether you want it or not. But in this case, I would say probably go half a size up and call it a day. No speed hooks, all eyelets, which personally I prefer. I mean, most logger boots come with speed hooks. So if you order custom ones, you can get eyelets instead. When we say custom, we mean made to order. This, again, not a true logger boot. This is a fashion version of kind of a hiking boot, I guess, which is why I got them, because I wanted a little bit taller here than the captain. You think we've got an extra 1 or 2 inches of height. In fact, captain boot, also half a size too small. So yeah, you can see it's maybe about 1.5 inches, maybe not quite 2 inches taller. Not a ton, just a smidge. And the outsole thickness of the heel stat, a little bit taller, because it's got that lift added in, but no lugs on the outsole there. I've worn this one hiking, even though it's tight, and it didn't really bother me that much. But after 2 or 3 hours, you know, everybody says, "Oh, I can wear Thursday boots all day," and they're great. After 2 or 3 hours, my feet hurt in those, just like any other shoe. So, don't know if these will be any better. I'm going to try and exchange them and see how that goes. If I have to wait another month, I don't know when it'll be before I have an update video on these. But I also got the Hero boot in this waxed flesh that I only wore like twice so far. But basically almost the same boot. But the Hero boot, no cap toe, and slightly different outsole option. Switching to the other one, I'm not really looking at these as closely as I usually do to inspect them. I mean, these ones were like I said, supposedly these were seconds or returns. They don't look like they've been worn. The other pair look like they have been definitely worn. Not all on carpet, but we'll get to that in the next video. But overall, I mean, yeah, if they fit better, for what they are. Now, I've had not every guy, but I've read many comments of different videos by other people and probably some of mine where they argue that, Thursday boots are not, good quality boots because the leather's not as thick or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Dressier boots, according to more educated sources than myself, won't have thick leather anyway. So yeah, this leather is not going to be, there we go, is not going to be super thick compared to, something like this where there's a double layer on top and all that. So obviously this is not a one-to-one comparison. They're not the same thing. This is a fashion version of a logger boot. But like I said, I think these boots overall, if you're not that worried about, cobras or copperheads or something, are fine for like day hikes and that kind of thing. But like I said, I want more toe room. I want a little bit wider. I don't want my foot totally smashed into the thing. When I first got my first pair, the ones that I threw on the floor, I wasn't really thinking about it, and so I thought, they could fit kind of almost like sneakers, but you won't be comfortable for the duration with that. Okay, so the sizing being the big issue, the overall construction being, like I said, basically fine for. We've got a single piece backstay. We've got, like I said, the stitching isn't maybe perfect. I don't know if that's why they were returned or what. It's not terrible. Supposedly you can resole them, but I imagine maybe once, and then all the internal components will be pretty well disintegrated. And this sole being slightly different than the other Captain sole that I showed, I mean, I expect this would last a bit longer, but then you have no mountainy traction here, so don't know. And then, of course, to get into the nitty gritty of a real quote unquote logger boot compared to here, we just have a free form tongue. We don't have any gusseting in the tongue to keep out the dirt and the debris. And see, these have this false tongue that covers this gusset material, which is a little more pliable and gets sewn all the way up. Not all logger boots are 10-inch height. You can get them in 6-inch or 8-inch. Same as close to this for 6 or 7-inch, like I said. But they invariably, the better ones will have not this open, letting in. Why the heck is this? Letting in all the dust and debris and bugs and rodents and whatever else. So again, already done videos on this. Not going to go extensively into this. Like I said, I did a video on these logger boots last year about how they're not real logger boots. It's just a clever name, for it. But main point of interest here, this again, kind of more of almost a cowboy stack heel. The reason one of the reasons these have this is you can see this curvature because there's extra arch support built into these boots that you have to have a taller heel to allow for that volume of stacked leather. This will have no stacked leather. This just has a regular drop and obviously, or not obviously, but a foam footbed and all that. So that's why they cost more than $150 whatever bucks. Well, these in the regular, not in the sale price, I think might run a little more. I don't remember. The cowboy boots I know run a little bit more. I think these might be in the $200 range still, if memory serves. So there you go. That's one video here for the books. And I'm going to get on to the next one. If there's any questions, you can put them in the comments. Like I said, I've done pretty extensive Thursday collection so far, but I plan to do a little bit more in the near future. But I probably won't do 3 videos today because viewership doesn't work that good in the algorithms or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And also, well, nobody's watched a couple of my other recent videos lately anyway, so I don't know who's. But you guys want boots. Boots it is.